welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. I hope you're all really well and having a great day. Today is a really quick vlog just to unbox my latest Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe. So I have just returned from my lovely holiday with my lovely husband. We got back late last night and I didn't have the best night's sleep, to be honest. We went to Portugal and there isn't any time difference when you go to Portugal from the UK, which is wonderful. So there's no jet lag or anything like that. It's just that it's just been a quick turnaround. So got back late last night and unpacked, and then immediately have had to pack this morning because I'm heading off up to Glasgow for Scottish Frock Tales this weekend, which I am really looking forward to. But whoa, what a whirlwind this is. Yeah, just timing wasn't great, to be perfectly honest, when I booked this holiday, because I didn't realise that Glasgow Frock Tales was going to be literally the day after when we got back. So anyway, it's fine. It will be fine. But anyway, had a really busy morning so far, but my Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe did arrive while we were away. It came a few days ago and I have been not itching to get home to open it, but you know what I mean. It's been one of the highlights of coming home. You know, that feeling you get when you get home from a really lovely holiday and you feel a bit down in the dumps because you've had such a lovely time and you're back to reality. It's been a really nice, lovely thing to come home to thinking I've got this to open, which is going to be lovely. Now it is a huge, huge package that has arrived. So I have a suspicion I know what it is. I'm trying to avoid I'm saying I'm trying to avoid all the other vlogs at the minute. There are loads of vlogs that I have missed out on while I have been away because our Wi-Fi in our apartment went down one day into our trip and it wasn't repaired for like 5 or 6 days. So it meant that we were having to use our own internet and pay for like a roaming passport, that type of thing, for internet, which meant that we were really trying to be careful with what we used. So it meant that I couldn't watch any vlogs while we were away on holiday. So I've got so much to catch up on. But yeah, the other thing is that a lot of the vlogs that have come out over the last few days are all doing unboxings. And so I'm trying to avoid them because I have rejoined Andrea's at Beyond the Pink Door as well. And I know that she's got an August box. Is it an August box? We're in September, aren't we? Is it an August or a September? I'm not sure. Anyway, whatever is coming from Andrea is on its way. But I know other people have already got theirs and they have incorporated unboxing of it into their vlogs. And I don't want to see it because I want it to be a surprise when it gets here. So anyway, I'm just really waffling at you now. I am wearing a Simplicity dress today as well. The one that I made a couple of months back over the summer. I am wearing this to go up to Glasgow in because, you know, the holiday weight gain and all that means that my clothes are a little bit tight. Let me just say that. So anyway, we'll get on with the unboxing. This is what's arrived. I mean, it's massive. It's not even in a box this time. It's in like a Santa sack. So I have a suspicion that this is Sherpa fleece. And the reason I have that suspicion is because they have done that thing, you know, you do at Christmas when you've got your presents under the tree and you have to have a quick feel to see what it is. I've had a quick feel and I think that's what it is. But also because the package is so big and I know how bulky Sherpa fleece is. Plus on top of that, while I was away, Fabric Godmother did a little release of some new Sherpa fabrics as well. So I suspect that's what is in here, but we shall open it and see what is inside. I love the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe. I really do. I think there hasn't been one yet that I have not enjoyed, apart from, even the one with the stripy fabric we got a few months ago, the stripy cotton, that I felt was a little bit unseasonal. I think that I still loved it once I'd made those up into lane pants. So I'm really sorry that this is really noisy if it sounds bad on camera. But we shall try and get in and see what we have. Oh, it is Sherpa fleece. No, it's not Sherpa fleece. It's totally not. I really thought it would be, but it's not. It is gorgeous. So let's have a look and see what we have. First off, we have our little gift. So the gift this month is a little pouch that feels like a suedette fabric. I don't know what's in here. Let me see. What are these? That's what they are. So these are metal hanging loops. So what you do is you sew them on at the back of a coat. That maybe gives you an idea of what I think potentially this month's dream wardrobe is pattern wise. But yeah, you get a couple of these little hanging loops. They're really lovely, and they're in like a brass colorway. Hopefully you can see that. They're lovely. I really love this little pouch as well. That's a really nice little gift. So that, I assume, is the free gift this month. We also have some Godmother thread in an off-white colorway, which will give you an idea of the fabric this month as well. And then we have a little card and that tells me about what the pattern is. Oh, it looks amazing. We also have the QR code where we can scan for the newsletter and sewing notes, which I will do in a second. But let me show you the fabric first, and then we'll talk about the pattern. So the fabric this month, as I say, is not Sherpa at all. It is this beautiful, like boucle fabric in this gorgeous sort of winter white colour. It's absolutely beautiful. And if I hold it back towards me there, you can see just how gorgeous it is. Now, that's the reverse side of it. So it's nice and soft on the reverse. And then you've got like the boucle nubs on that side. I'm assuming that's what this is. It looks like a boucle. Now, I have had boucle fabrics in the past and I've never sewn with it. This is a fabric that is new to me sewing wise. The ones that I have bought in the past, I think I've only had one or two of them, and I've ended up destashing them because they've been a little bit too drapey for my liking when it's come to thinking about patterns and what I would want to make with a boucle. I felt that the fabrics that I've picked have not been structured enough, not had enough weight to them. This feels really good quality, and it's got a little bit of, you can see it's just sort of holding its shape a little bit. So it does have a bit of structure to that, but also still some fluidity, which is what you want, isn't it? I guess it's really lovely. It's a very nice quality. And, this kind of colour is great. Well, when I say it's great for winter, I mean, it gets dirty really quick, doesn't it? Let's face it. Don't know about washing, how to pre-wash this or whether you should pre-wash it. I don't know the fabric content yet either. So I will have a look at the QR code in a second and we can talk about that. But pattern wise, what we've got this month is we have got a Fabric Godmother exclusive pattern. So I assume this is going to be their new pattern that they're releasing, and it is called the Arbor Coat. So let me show you the little card that comes with that. So it looks like you've got two options. You've got sort of a hip length edge to edge coat, and then you've got one that crosses over with a belt. So if I show you the line drawings on the A0 printout that I've got, hopefully, I don't know if you can see that very well, you can see that you've got two views. Is it two views? Yes, two views, view A and view B. So you've got this shawl. Is it like a shawl collar? Looks a bit like a shawl collar. I really like the look of that. Looks like a really nice pattern. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scan the QR code, have a look at it, and then I will come back to you. Hopefully you will be able to see the newsletter that I'm going to put up on screen now, where it tells us a little bit more about the new Fabric Godmother pattern, which is the Arbor Coat. So it comes in UK sizes 6 to 30, and you've got two versions with this pattern. So view A is a short hip length version that you can either close with snaps or a tie belt, and then view B is a mid-calf version that closes just with a tie belt. You get enough fabric in the dream wardrobe this month to make the shorter version with a tie belt, so that's one thing to bear in mind. But it does give you the link to the listings for the fabric if you wanted to purchase more, if you wanted to make the longer version. What I would say is this is a beautiful, beautiful fabric. I personally think, I mean, for me, I would prefer the mid-calf length because I think that is just my aesthetic completely. And looking at the pictures of this pattern, the full length version would be absolutely beautiful. However, I think this sort of winter white colorway in a long coat for winter is going to get filthy really quickly, let's face it, isn't it? So I think probably for wearability, the hip length version is probably going to mean less washing in wearing, I think. But, you know, that's up to you at the end of the day, which you would want to do. Now, it looks like there are 3 options that you get in the Dream Wardrobe this month. So different people might have different versions. There is the Corin Boucle coating in cream and ivory, and then the Miller Boucle coating in cream. I think the one that I've got here is the Corin in cream. Looking at the listings, I think the Miller is slightly more cream than the one that I've got. Now, I've looked at the listings, all of them, well, both listings for the Corin and the Miller are priced at £15 a metre, and they are 145 centimetres wide. They are 100% polyester. That's the only thing to bear in mind. So there's no cotton or other kind of natural fabric, no wool or anything in this fabric. Now, it does also say that you can pre-wash your fabric and should do that. Obviously, I would recommend that, especially with something this colour, because as I say, it's going to get dirty in wearing, let's face it. So pre-washing it at whatever temperature you would want to wash your finished coat in will be fine. They do say that in the instructions. Gives you some pictures of Josie looking fabulous in the short tie wrap version that is fully lined that she's made. It does say as well that you can either line your coat or leave it unlined, which is lovely. I think I would personally prefer to line it. I think it just gives you a bit more of a professional finish. And also sometimes this type of fabric can sort of catch on your clothes when you're putting it on and off. So having a silky sort of lining is going to make that easier to get on and off as well, and will probably lengthen the lifetime of your coat as well. They do sell a lining add-on pack, I think, for this pattern, which is £7. Personally, I feel that they should include that in the pattern. I don't necessarily feel that when you release a pattern, if you're going to do a lining for it, it should come as part of the pattern package. I wouldn't buy a separate lining package for this pattern. I think I would probably just create my own, if I'm honest. I think I have the skills now after the length of time that I've been sewing to be able to do that, but I totally appreciate many people don't, and I personally don't like it when people do add-on payable patterns, if that makes sense, for things like different sleeves and linings and all that kind of stuff. I think it should come as part of the pattern package, but that's my personal opinion. You might feel different. They also talk about the free gift that we've got this month, which is an antique brass coat hanging hook chain thing, which is always lovely in a nice coat. You know, that's what you see in your higher end coats, that you get those lovely sort of chains which just give that really sort of elevated finish to a coat. To make your coat, you are going to need matching thread, which is included, iron-on interfacing, which isn't included in the Dream Wardrobe, snap fastenings if you want to make the snap fastening version, pre-made bias binding, that will be if you are going to make the unlined version, and the lining kit if you want to line it, if you haven't got the skills to work that out yourself. So what Fabric Godmother have put together is a full lining kit, which includes 2.4 meters of lining, the PDF printed pattern of just the lining pattern as well, plus the interfacing that you would require. That kit costs £36, so just bear that in mind. It's quite a lot of outlay, that, isn't it, just for a lining? But you know, if you're going to make an amazing coat, then it's probably worth the investment. They also give you some alternative fabrics that they sell as options for your arbor coat as well if you don't particularly like the fabric that it comes with, or you don't want to make a cream coat. So there are other suggested options that would look amazing in this as well. So that's it. That's what we get this month in the Dream Wardrobe. I do love the look of the pattern. I think it looks great. I have actually been thinking about making a coat because I haven't made one for a few years, if I'm honest, and I could do with a nice sort of winter coat that will take me through this coming season. So I have been thinking about making one. So it's really uncanny that I've got everything to do that in my Dream Wardrobe this month. I think this fabric is beautiful. It's a really, really lovely quality. And to say it's polyester, I think with a lot of coating fabrics, though, you do get a lot of polyester in them. So don't be put off by that if you are normally a natural fabric person and think a polyester style coat is not going to be really nice on the skin. Remember, this is a coat, so you're not generally going to wear it right next to your skin anyway, and it does feel really lovely. And if you line it, you can line it with something beautiful. I do think, as I've already mentioned, that having to pay extra for the lining add-on pattern is not my favourite thing, if I'm honest. I think that should be included with this pattern, but you know, as I say, that's just my own personal opinion. And yes, they do a lining pack for this coat that's quite expensive in my opinion, but you know, if you want to go for it, then absolutely, you do you. I will probably line my own version. I think I would probably use something just for like a silky lining. It doesn't have to be silk, it doesn't have to be, you know, a really high-end lining. You can, there's lots of sort of lightweight silky linings that would look great with this coat. And I do think, looking at the lining kit they've put together, the lining looks beautiful, to be honest. It really does. And you know, you would come out with just such a gorgeous looking arbor coat. So yeah, but there's lots of different options you could go for. I would say with this colour fabric, I would go for a light coloured lining, because I don't know, I mean, it's not see-through, but I think if you used a dark lining against this fabric, it might alter the shade slightly. So you'd have to look at that, I think. But I would, yes, go for something that's fairly light in colour to keep the sort of brightness of the boucle coating. I think that would probably be my preference. But yeah, I think it's a great kit. Absolutely love it. They've pulled it out of the bag yet again. Have Fabric Godmother. I love, when you look at the images, I love the long length version in that check coating. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, you'd need a fair bit of pattern matching skills with that kind of fabric though. Checks are always a little bit more difficult to match, I think, and just take a bit more time. But yeah, I think this is lovely, and I can see myself making this up this winter. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know down in the comments below what you think to this month's Dream Wardrobe, and are you going to be having a go at making this yourself this year? So I'm going to leave it there because I need to quickly dash off now, finish packing and get myself off to Glasgow for a really lovely weekend with sewing friends. Take care of yourselves, whatever you're up to this weekend, and I'll be back with you really soon. Bye.